Hare Krishna. Welcome to my Radha Madhav channel. This is Sindhu here. Very happy to be associating with you all after a long time. I'm back with a beautiful, short, inspiring, interesting Krishna Katha. The topic is very, very, very inspiring and it's very practical also, so I've picked it up for you. Who can always be happy? It's a very life-changing wisdom story. Let me start with a small prayer. An introduction. Nama Om Vishnu Padhaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini. Hare Krishna. Let's see a small introduction before going into the story. See, we all make unnecessary comparison with others and we become sad. We don't value what God has given us, what Sri Krishna has given us. So what happens? This leads us to the vicious cycle of unhappiness. So what we must do? We must learn to be happy in what you have instead of looking at what we don't have. But there will always be someone who will have more or less than you have. So a person who is satisfied with what he or she has is the happiest person in the whole world. So it's very beautifully described by Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, verse 24, where Sri Krishna says, Yo nantaha sukho nantar aramas tatantas jyotir eva yahasa yogi Brahma Nirvanam Brahma Bhuto Dikachati. I repeat, Yonata Shuko Nantar Aramas Tatantas Jyotir Eva Yaha Sayogi Brahma Nirvanam Brahma Bhuto Dikachati. Meaning, one whose happiness is within, who is active within, who rejoices within, and is illumined within, is actually the perfect mystic. Krishna says here, he is liberated in the Supreme and ultimately he attains the Supreme. Hari Bol. Right? So now let's go on to the beautiful story. It's a very, you must all have definitely come across this in one point of time in your life. So let me just make you recollect it and you can enjoy the story along with me while reciting it. Once a crow lived in the forest and he was absolutely satisfied in his life. Absolutely, completely satisfied. But one day, he happened to see a swan. Okay? And he was thinking the swan is so white. And so he thought, I am so black, so definitely this swan must be the happiest bird in the whole world. So what did the crow do? He expressed his thoughts to the swan. And actually what the swan replied, I was feeling like that. True. That I was the happiest bird around until I saw a parrot. The swan said, the parrot has two colors. So I think now the parrot is the happiest bird in the whole creation. The swan says. So the crow, what he did after hearing this, the crow then approached the parrot. The parrot explained, I lived a very, very happy life until I saw a peacock. I have only two colors. But the peacock has, as you can also see in the image, has multiple colors. Right? So what did the parrot say? I have only two colors. But the peacock, see the peacock, it has multiple colors. So definitely peacock is more happier than me. Peacock is the happiest bird. So the crow then visited the peacock at the zoo. And the crow saw hundreds and hundreds of people had gathered to see the peacock. See the bird? And once after all the people had left, the crow went to the peacock and said, Dear peacock, you are so beautiful, no doubt. And every day, thousands and hundreds of people, they come to see you. But see me, when they see me, they shoo me away. So they immediately shoo me away. Why is that? So I think that definitely you are the happiest bird on this planet. The peacock replied, I always thought I was the most beautiful and happy bird on this planet. But see my fate, because of my beauty, I am entrapped in the zoo. I have examined the zoo very carefully and realized, see what the peacock says, just the contrary, isn't it? And the peacock says, I've realized that crow is the only bird which is not kept in the cage. So it can roam about freely, happily, anywhere, everywhere. So, my dear friends and devotees, what we understand from this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful story, that our problem in life too is exactly the same. What we do? We make unnecessary comparison with others and we become sad. So we don't value what Lord Shri Krishna has given us. And what happens? This all leads us to the vicious cycle of unhappiness. So we must learn to be happy with what we have instead of looking at what we don't have. There will always be someone who has more or less, as I told you, isn't it? So a person who is satisfied with what he or she has is said to be the happiest person in the whole world. The Lord Krishna himself says it. He declares it boldly. So as we saw in the verse also, right, Bhagavad Gita verse, 24th verse in chapter 5, Yonantaha Sukho, which means one who is internally happy. Right? There is one kind of happiness that we get from external objects, no doubt, and another kind of happiness that we experience from within when we absorb the mind in Lord Shri Krishna. So if we do not experience happiness within, we will not be, able to permanently resist the external temptations. That is not possible. But when the bliss of the Lord or the bliss of Krishna starts flowing within the heart, then the fleeting external pleasures seem very trivial in comparison, and they are very, very, very easy to renounce. That comes by practice. And a very beautiful quote I would like to tell here by Saint Yamunacharya. He is beautifully told, Yadavadi mama chetah Krishna padaravinde navanavarasa damanudyate rantum asit tadhavadi bhatanari sangame smaryamane bhavati mukha vikara shushtu nishtivanam cha. I repeat, Yadhavadi mama chetha Krishna padaravinde navanava rasadhamanudyate rantum asit tadhavadi bhatanari sanghame smaryamane bhavati mukha vikara shushtu nishtivanam cha. So what Krishna means here? What does the quote say here? It says, ever since I have begun meditating upon the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna, I have been experiencing a supreme bliss, a higher taste, and ever increasing happiness. Right? So very beautifully the saint has quoted here. So I would like to conclude my today's topic here by saying, my dear friends and devotees, we must stop comparing ourselves with others, and as we cannot be happy, and it's very, very difficult to progress in our spiritual journey. Why? Because all the other mental imperfections start appearing, like hatred, comes jealousy, anger, greed, intolerance. This is all a cycle, right? They're all the gates to the hell. And instead of living one's own life, we look at others and think our happiness depends on the other person, who is also equally unhappy. We don't realize it. So what we must think, we are all beautiful creations of Lord Shri Krishna, beautiful creations of the Lord. So we should be free from all these, imperfections or negativity, whatever we call, the gates to hell. And we should always be satisfied and happy with what we have, and always express our gratitude to our Creator, to our Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? So, I would like to take leave by telling us that, by telling that the person who's happiest is the one who's the most satisfied with what he or she has, right? Thank you. Catch you all with another beautiful motivational video. Until then, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you. Once again, Hare Krishna.